It comes on. It's 6:08 though.
It's 6:01.
Oh, maybe my phone's wrong. I mean, my laptop's wrong. I think my laptop's fast. You know, my laptop needs to chill and smoke a girl blunt. It's working too hard. It needs to relax. It's on 6:08. So my bad if I'm a little early. I just got a notification about all that now too. It's 6 o'clock. Wow, good job, phone. Maybe I need to smoke more. Relax. I'm too freaking wild up for the show. I'm like, but so have you guys heard of anyone smoking anything else or consuming anything other than like tobacco or cannabis or like I heard of something new earlier from you, Cliff, but you guys heard of anyone smoking like lavender in blunts?
Not in blunts.
No, I mean, I've heard of like saging bundles with lavender in it. But I don't think that's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about like mixing it up. Like you can either just grind just like lavender and a mixture of herbs, or you can also mix it with your cannabis or tobacco even, and smoke it that way. You can either do it in a blunt or a joint, and that's how I've been seeing people do it. I haven't seen anyone do it in a bowl, like a bong or anything like that. But I've mostly been seeing people on TikTok mostly just rolling up their girl blunts to the song Girl Blunt. And when I looked that up, it told me that you have to be a female to roll it. And I said, well, that's stupid. So I guess, yeah. That's another thing for the girl blunt, but that's just the internet being dumb. But my main focus was the whether or not, like, what is the importance of smoking all these? Some people, they weren't saying anything. They were just like, oh, I'm going to smoke this, you know? And some people put in a few of their reasons why, and the most common one with lavender was the sleep aid. And because I know you can make lavender sleep sachets, because I've made those before to help me sleep. But I've never smoked it. I made tea out of it. What do you guys use to sleep?
I haven't voted. What do I use to sleep? Trazodone.
Yeah.
That's what I use to sleep.
I don't know if that's an herbal thing, though.
Chemical thing.
It is chemical. Where is the chemist when we need him?
Right, with that.
I have used pot in the past to sleep. I have not smoked marijuana. It's been close to 20 years since the last time I smoked.
Shit.
What else have I used? Well, the aforementioned kinnikinnick, which is a it's a wild berry, is what it is, and then they add other, they will add Indian tobacco to it or bark of red sumac, stuff like that to it, and it comes into a smoke mixture. It's used both just to smoke, to chill, or it's used also as in smoke rituals, in sweat boxes, stuff like that. Sweat lodges, not sweat box, sweat lodge.
Sweat box.
Sweat box is a punishment. Sweat lodge is, well,
a relaxing place. That's a vacation.
Can be.
Can be.
I can't say that I've ever smoked lavender outside of it being mixed in a sage bundle. I'm not a fan of lavender.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Christine?
So I've smoked the THC. I'm smoking cigarettes again. American Spirit Light Blue Box. But I've never actually smoked anything else, like ever, herbal or otherwise. And I mean, that's just me. Like, everybody live your own life, live it to your best abilities, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and judge you, but I am kind of worried about people smoking lavender. Like, yeah, I put it in incense, but I haven't like gone concentrate right into the lungs,
What would be your what would be like the I guess the reason why you would be like kind of weary on people smoking lavender versus like tobacco or anything, kind of.
I don't
The
know. I don't think
thing-
there's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. You go ahead, because I'm still trying to formulate my thoughts. So
I don't think there's ever been any study on the long-term effects of smoking lavender, other than anything you smoke is going to cause buildup in your lungs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, oh yeah, marijuana is natural and there's no chemicals. Well, yeah, there are chemicals in it now, but
Oh yeah.
it's not as damaging as nicotine. Well, yes, it is actually. It still produces tar when you smoke it,
Mhm.
and that tar goes into your lungs.
Yeah.
That's why
So
you get
it's-
resin in your bowl.
Right. It's just as damaging as cigarettes. Cigarettes just end up having cigarettes have a lot more added to them. You know, the formaldehyde, the fiberglass, everything that goes into making a
Yeah.
cigarette,
Yeah.
everything that makes you addicted to cigarettes, other than just the nicotine. Um, but with all the varieties of marijuana out there, you never know what's in it nowadays.
Yeah, and they can say they test them, you know,
Right.
they run them through these tests. Like, there's a company, what's the name? They claim that they run it through tests that are higher than food grade, but just right under medical grade. And they run like 166. But where are the paperwork? I would like to see them. Like,
Right. There's like no peer reviewed documentation on it.
right, like,
It's
the
same
company
with
says
vapes.
it
I mean,
passed, but did it? Like,
it's the same with vapes. Vapes cause damage too. They
Yeah.
don't have the tar, but they do other things to your lungs. The popcorn lung syndrome. You know, that's the
Mhm.
side effect of vaping. Because you're inhaling glycerin. It's
Mhm.
not actually water vapor like they claim. It's
No.
glycerin vapor. So, but you know, aside from all that, smoking for ritual, I find I like smoking for ritual. I do. And if lavender, I don't know what rituals you use lavender in. At least nothing in what I practice calls for lavender. Um, you mentioned rosemary before we came online. Rosemary can go die in a fire. Hate rosemary. Hate it.
Well, you know, if you put it in the fire pit, it'll keep the mosquitoes away. So yes, it can
Burn it.
die in a fire.
Yeah, you know what? That's what off is for.
I have a love-hate relationship with rosemary. I hate it because it's always used. Because I have so much of it.
It's
Like,
because it grows
I
like
love
a
it
weed in
because I have so
California.
much.
It grows wild in California,
Right?
so
it's like the only reason I love it is because I have it and I can use it. And I'm like, I've got so much of it. Might as
Yeah.
well. But I tried smoking rosemary once and it was just, it can go die in the fire after that.
Yeah,
That was not
I would
business.
imagine it would be super harsh.
It was, I think I probably coughed up a lung and had to go get a transplant. And then I came back and said, well, I almost died, so I'm never going to do that again.
Right.
So,
well, I wanna since we're on this topic, I don't mean to pull it from you, Kayla.
no, it's
so
fine.
like
Ask a question.
um,
Keep saying.
my question to you guys is, knowing the three of us and our work with craft path tools, and in particular herbs, like, what are your guys' concern with these people who are taking fresh, undried herbs and inhaling them? Like, that's my concern, you know. Like, I do not, even in our shop, we don't even sell fresh herb cleansing bundles because of the sap and the water, and it just doesn't burn well. It's not good to use. So I mean, what are your guys' concerns with people like, oh, here's a rosemary bush, I'm gonna cut some off and put in my blunt or whatever?
Research first before. That's what I gotta say to people is just do research mainly
Yeah.
on how to do it. Like, if you want to do it, at least do the research to do it properly. Like, I'm never gonna tell anyone don't do anything. You know, I mean, don't murder, and don't do other things. But like, if you want, like, I'm not gonna tell anyone don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke, like, so I can't. I would just tell them do the research to make sure you're, you know, dry herbs. You know, don't smoke them with that because you're gonna just double coat your lungs. You're just gonna fucking kill yourself, basically. That's how I view it. Is like you're just smoking sap and gunk. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've smoked fucking dry rosemary. Not dried rosemary. It was fresh, guys.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for smoking sap. I mean,
there's places from it. There's places for it in particular plants like poppies. I get that. Okay, I don't do that. I've never done that, but I get that. But yeah, fresh rosemary. Why would you? I mean, have anybody has? I know you guys have because how much you hate rosemary. But if anybody's actually touched rosemary, there's a lot of oil in rosemary, fresh off the plant. That's why your hands smell right, because it imparts those oils in. Like, to me, you gotta dry that shit out because it gets rid of a lot of the vapor. And it kind of solidifies that, still, that's a very heavy oil. If anybody has ever cooked with it, rosemary oil is potent.
You only need a little bit.
Right.
It's probably why it was so harsh and, bitter when I had it. It was, because I didn't have dried out stuff. And so it was just so much of that flavor was just so potent. It was just... And that's probably why I almost died, so...
Kick you in the chest?
Yeah, it really was, That's what I mean, do what you want, but also be, smart about it, smart as you can, I guess,
So, akin to that, though, I mean, back in, and we still do it nowadays, but not to the extent that, say, they did in the Middle East, as far as the types of incenses that you were using back then. Frankincense being a great example. Speaking of saps, frankincense is an amber. It lets off a lot of smoke. You inhale a lot of it when you burn it in your house. I have lots of frankincense incense in my house because I love it. It's my favorite incense. The rock kind. The stick kind is all right, but it's not the same. It's not the same as the actual rock. So everything is smokable. I guess just do your research. Look at what the ancient people smoked because they were smoking it before we were, and if they died, then it probably wasn't worth smoking.
That is a great way to put it.
But then, of course, people ate freaking God damn it! Why am I drawing a blank on the name of it? Mistletoe berries.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the theories behind, witches flew because they ate mistletoe berries. Yeah, because they were fucking tripping balls and then they probably died.
I can fly.
Oh, that brings us around to the English mandrake whole kerfuffle. Apparently some people think to be a practitioner, to be a true witch, you have to make your own flying ointment, which is an old recipe that includes English mandrake, which is really hard to get in the States. And it's a hallucinogen. So you're not supposed to eat this. It's fly ointment. You're supposed to rub it in and you get some kind of hallucinatory reaction. All well and good, but people are really trying to get this herb. They don't even know what the hell it does, and then you get stories about people eating fly ointment and or licking it or putting it their eyeballs or something, trying to enhance the effect.
I need to see the flight.
Oh my gosh. It's like old Victorian, Edwardian beauty practices. People would put belladonna drops in their eyes to give them that wide-eyed, euphoric look. Just because you can doesn't mean you should,
Yeah, well, you put wormwood in absinthe.
What does
Well,
that
I
do?
mean, but
Wormwood's a
wormwood,
poison.
absinthe. Okay,
Oh.
but absinthe
Duh.
though, and this is okay. Since you brought it up, okay, the history nerd's gonna step in here. Absinthe on its own is not going to give you the green fairy effect.
No, it's not.
It's the opium, the laudanum that they put in the sugar cubes, then torched, that gives you the hallucination with the wormwood. You're getting high, okay? So when people are like, "Oh, it's not real absinthe, it's legal. This is the legal stuff in the US." It was only illegal when you had laudanum available at every drugstore. You can't get laudanum anymore. It's a narcotic. I don't think you can even if you have a doctor's note, I don't think you can get laudanum because it's just pure opium.
So you're telling me that absinthe I bought
is not going to
make
give
me high.
you not like you would expect from the stories of the turn of the century.
Okay, so depending on what absinthe you got, I'm drinking a lot of absinthe. A lot. My brother.
Mine has a monkey on it.
My brother would be what you would be calling an absinthe aficionado. So he's had me try different types. We went up to Oregon one year to go to the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival, and they have an H.P. Lovecraft themed bar down the street from the theater.
Oh, that's cool.
It serves a wide variety of absinthes, and he was getting me these absinthe lemonade drinks. They were amazing.
I'm listening.
They were amazing. I had 4 of them.
Ooh.
They were in pint glasses. I was not hallucinating per se, but I can say that the world slowed down. I was seeing tracers, and the next morning I wanted to put a gun in my mouth because it was the worst hangover I've ever fucking had.
Really?
I'm excited now.
It was awful. And we had to drive back to California.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That must have been the worst drive ever.
I love absinthe. I really do. It's, it is my, something that if I am drinking it, I have a hard time stopping drinking it.
I've never tried it, so I thought I'd get some and try it. I still haven't opened it yet, but so any recommendations, guys? But I'm excited.
I got nothing.
But,
I got nothing. Because it's not my like ouzo. I could get down on some ouzo. Absinthe, not so much.
Have you heard of kava though? Like another drinkable consumable there? You heard of kava?
Kava.
Kava root. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
I've never had it.
Chris,
never had it. Yeah. No.
It's
What
good.
is it?
It's a root, and the uncultured will say it's dirt water, but the cultured will say it's bomb as hell. So, from my understanding and from my experience, it has a reverse tolerance. So when you drink, you have to drink more the first time in order to feel the effect. Like, you know, when you smoke cannabis and like the first time you smoke it, you like really feel it. But then if you smoke a lot, you got to smoke a lot more to feel that same high as if you smoke a lot. You know what I mean? But
I think so. I think I get what you're saying.
You build a tolerance over time with cannabis,
right? Okay.
To it. So you have to smoke more of it in order to feel that same effect over time. With kava, it's like a reverse. In the beginning, you have to drink more of it in order to feel that. But then as you drink more over time, like not like in one night, but I mean like over the course of your life, you know, maybe a few months or whatever, your tolerance will start to go down. You'll drink less kava and you'll feel the same relaxing effects, anxiety relief, and forgot there was something else.
I just looked it up. I'm looking at it on VMD right now. I'm like,
there's a kava bar.
This stuff actually.
It's really nice, actually. There's a kava bar in Rancho Cordova, actually, that I went to that my piece of shit ex worked at, and yeah, fuck him. I'm live. I don't care. And that place is great
so
though, because I got free kava because he didn't work there technically. he made the kava that was purchased there. So that's what I meant. But fuck him.
Okay.
He would take me there. The kava is great though. It really relaxes you, and it's like kind of getting drunk without getting drunk. You know, it kind of gives you that buzz of being relaxed and anxiety free, you know, but without being like, I'm drunk and I'm gonna have a hangover later, you know? It's really nice. I was using it a lot when I had a lot of anxiety. And I should probably use it again, but it can taste kind of funky because it's a root, but you can mix it with all sorts of things now. Like, I actually saw on TikTok there's a kava bar, and someone was mixing like all sorts of like making fancy drinks, and it looked like, you know, alcoholic drinks. They were all kava drinks, and I was like, oh, that looks good. And I've had the kava smoothies, and those are really good actually. So I highly suggest trying kava sometime if you would like to help with any kind of anxiety or stress relief, or just kind of feeling loose and relaxed. You know, really good.
All right.
I have to try that.
Definitely. I'll have to see if I can
it's
find
got some negative side effects too, but
yeah.
I mean, what doesn't?
Right. I think it's from Hawaii. I'm
Yeah,
remembering.
it says it's Polynesian, so it's all over
Polynesian. Yeah.
Pacific Islands.
Okay.
I
Let's
like
see,
it.
Fiji and Tonga. People who live on Pacific Islands like Fiji and Tonga have used it for hundreds of years in social gatherings and traditional medicine.
What does it look like?
I will say, since we're
It's
talking
beautiful.
about herbalism and in a roundabout, you know, particular way of consumption, let's just put this out here right now, okay?
Yes.
People with their oil diffusers, their humidifiers, and they put their essential oil drops in there. Please, 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 if you have furry friends in your home, be careful which essential oil drops you are using, because it can aggravate sinuses, it can aggravate airways, the lungs of animals. Like, certain things you don't want to use around dogs, and certain things you don't want to use around cats. It can make them very sick and even result in death. So if you're one of those types that has one of those diffusers, those electric diffusers, and you're putting rosemary oil, hopefully not, or lavender oil, make sure that if you have a furry friend, it is not giving them an adverse reaction. Because, of course, they can't tell us when they can't breathe. We just know that once that diffuser goes off, it's no longer spitting stuff in the air. They're hawking and cacking and, you know, all that lovely stuff to find with your bare feet.
I also heard that with those diffusers, no matter what the scent is, since it's going in the air, if you have a fish tank or aquarium in your room, it will go in the water and it can really change your pH levels and it can kill your fish too. So for those out there who do that with an aquarium in your room, I suggest don't. That's why I don't have a diffuser in my room, because I don't want to kill my fish.
I don't use essential oils, so.
And, you know,
They smell good.
There's a lot of people who do, and I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying look into it. It's like you don't want to give your dog onions and, you don't want to let your cat have onions and garlic. It's not good for them. It's toxic. Actually, I think dogs shouldn't have onions either, I think. Just.
You can give chickens red pepper flakes, though, apparently. I'm going to look more into that. But birds, I guess. I'm going to look into it. I guess they can't, like, do, like, heat or whatever. They can't, like, tell heat, really. So they just, like... Yeah, and then I heard from someone that if you put cayenne pepper in your bird seed, your squirrels won't eat it. Because they don't want to fuck with that, but the birds will be like, yeah, because they can't taste the heat. So I'm going to look into that more, but I'm going to try that with my chickens.
Okay.
It'll help make their egg yolks thick, or their eggs heavier, and it'll change the color of their yolk. So I'm going to look more into it, and then I'm going to do some research, and I'm going to try that too. So my chicken's going to have fun consumption. Some herbal consumption for them.
Make some spicy chicken eggs.
Spicy chicken eggs. That would be really cool, actually. If it did make spicy chicken eggs. Pre-season!
Oh my
Pre-season
gosh. Oh my gosh.
That'd be great. Oh man. Oh,
Um,
to do that.
I am kind of upset at you, Kayla,
Why?
because you haven't put any of your Sabbath recipes in the chat for us to enjoy.
You're right. I was gonna tag them with the videos they made, but you wanna know what happened to my pumpkin pie video?
What
As you
happened
see, I
to
made part of it.
I did.
I lost a lot of my recordings on my iCloud. So I have some of them. I don't have them all, so I might recreate them and like post them during this time as like a still seasonal. So I'm thinking about recreating, but I might recreate like instead of doing the Cornish game hens, I have a chicken. I have like a not one of my chickens, but I have another chicken. So like a store chicken. I should have just killed one of mine, but I'll post them. I wanted to tie them together, so it wouldn't just be like recipes and no video. But maybe I'll just post the recipe. But it's sad.
For any of those
Makes
who are
me
watching
sad.
who was looking forward to us doing ritual on Monday, we apologize. We had a bad case of rain. We just couldn't do that kind of stuff out in the rain. It's just not. It's no buenos. It's no buenos.
So I just found.
Doesn't mean we won't do it again later.
Yeah, we can do another one. If it doesn't rain for Yule, you guys should come hang out. Do something, not like maybe on Yule, because you guys might be doing your own thing, but you know, like we should still do something for the month. Heck yeah! But
Sorry,
I wanted to kind of bring it back to the consumption thing, because I just found on that one website I was telling you that sells the pre-rolled herbs of like the lavender and stuff. They have flavors that are based on 3 natural terpenes that you find in cannabis. So I'm wondering if maybe like, because it doesn't say that this is the point of it, but I wonder if maybe that helps people like stop smoking weed, because it still has the flavors, but you're not smoking all of that and getting the high still. Maybe it's to help people like still have like, I'm still smoking it. It's like a placebo effect, maybe, I wonder. Because that might be beneficial. Because that's what this says. 3 flavors that are based on 3 natural terpenes. Mango Kush, OG Kush, Pineapple Express.
I mean, you could just stop smoking pot.
I mean, everyone could just stop smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. We could all stop.
Yeah.
Could all stop.
I mean, I stopped smoking pot. Real easy. I just lost my bong. And I had to get a job. If we're being real, I had to get a job, and then I lost my bong. And then I found it. It's in my china cabinet.
I still have the little, the pink one, by the way. I have it over there.
Yeah.
From our trip. It's hanging out over there. Nice and clean still. Hanging out.
My hoop is packed away here somewhere.
Right.
So what are other ways that you found people are consuming herbs, not just smoking? And breathing. We'll put breathing because, essential oil, people do that stuff. My mother-in-law puts 3 thieves like under her nose or something like that when she feels sick. Which,
that's one thing, topicals.
Like, do your essential oils, but make sure that you have a carrier oil, because some essential oils can really burn your...
It's all about research, Always do research before you try something new. I mean, that's how, back in the day, they found out whether or not that shit would kill you or not, Hey, test my berries. Guide.
Yeah, don't test them on yourself. Test them on your unlikable friend.
There you go. That's why you keep your enemies close.
She needs somebody to try out the berries.
Always have your enemies try your berries.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
You'll have less enemies, hopefully. Maybe. Or you'll make a new friend because they'll like your berries. There you go. Smart moves right there.
Pretty smart.
Smart consumption for you, not for others.
So my mom used to make something called cooling body powder. I don't remember what the recipe was entirely because there was other things in it, but I know like the main components were and this was an alternative for SCA events to honey dust. Which I know, Kayla, you haven't done any SCA events with us, but some ladies use honey dust underneath their skirts when they get all steamy to keep down chafing, because it's a really, really fine powder, and a little bit goes a long way. In fact, I
was
still
thinking
have
of something completely different when you were talking about honey dust.
I know most guys think those ways, but that's not why a lot of ladies have it. It's a good side effect, but a lot of ladies use it under their skirts to keep chafing down, because it's such a fine powder, and it sticks, but not in the way that it would rub the skin raw more.
Is honey dust like the actual dust of honey?
I don't know. No,
It's like Gold Balm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just
the can that I have is
grind it down.
Is the Kama Sutra honey dust. But yeah, that's what I used it for. Was to help the nether regions in the middle of June when you're wearing a lot of skirts and have to dance later. But so my mom, in response to needing something other than honey dust, because not a lot of people could get it, and then of course you tell somebody, "Oh, I need to go get my honey dust," and people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "No, that's not what we're using it for.
I'm chafing.
Nice
That's
try."
what I'm doing.
Like, my nuts are burning. Okay, that's what I'm getting the honey dust for. She made something called cooling body powder, and the main ingredient in it was cornstarch, which I think is also in honey dust. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up. But she would add a little bit of really, really fine ground cinnamon to it, to like a whole batch, not like a good amount into a container, but like a big batch that would probably fill about 100 containers, maybe like a quarter of a teaspoon, and mix it in really well. And the reason for that is because cinnamon draws the blood to the surface of the skin. And anybody who knows biology or physiology, if you can bring the blood flow up to the skin, it'll help cool you faster. So you got this really soothing mixture of topical powders and cornstarch, which will help relieve the sweat. But then you got a little bit of cinnamon in there that'll also help draw the heat out of your skin and cool you faster. So that's one way that, you could technically, it's not ingesting, but
It's a topical.
It's a topical, like,
Yeah.
and then of course you have this very faint, sweet smell of cinnamon and whatever cornstarch smells like. It is a sweet smell, but I wouldn't
Smells
say
like
like
cornstarch.
it does kind of smell like cornstarch, but not like
It's like it's its own smell.
it is its own smell. It's a
Yeah.
sweet smell though. It's not a sickly sweet smell.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, but I know what you mean. Kind of
Yeah.
like a dry sweet.
Yeah. There you go. A dry sweet.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense, man. We just found the taste of cornstarch. That's really cool, though.
I can say for sure after our show tonight, I am definitely having a cigarette.
Yeah.
Talking about smoking things, I just want a cigarette now.
I used to think that, I used to like to do the face mask, and then just for the fun, I would put like the cucumbers on my eyes. But then I found out that if you mush the cucumber up and put it in a cheesecloth and put it on your eyes, oh my god, it's way better, and it actually really does revive your eyes a lot better. For me, could just be placebo, but that's something I learned on the internet, and then from my mom I always learned about teas. So I always usually did a lot of herbal consumption through teas, because growing up my mom would always have this tea, and she put whatever she'd put in it, whatever kind of tea it was, have this tea, have that tea. So I always loved tea, and so like I like chamomile teas, well, I guess basic teas, but I use that to sleep. And then lavender, I have a really good lavender chamomile and the chamomile kind of more overpowers the lavender, so the lavender is really hinted in there, so it's like very light.
I wonder if we make teas out of low oil producing herbs. Because like chamomile is not a heavy oil producing herb, and neither is lavender. Like not the flower. The flower doesn't produce a lot of oil.
Yeah. Maybe that's... I never thought of that. That's something interesting I'll have to look into. Because that... I've never really heard of rosemary tea.
Right. And it's like we discussed, it's a very heavy, oily kind of herb. But like if you think about it, like our peoks and our orange peoks and oolongs, even like the white teas, white tea is just a young tea leaf. And I'm wondering if they do that because it's got a low oil content.
Maybe. I tried hops in a tea.
Yeah?
Yeah, and...
I mean, isn't that just beer?
Beer tea. Yeah, I made beer tea. Beer tea. I did it for sleep.
Like, don't you boil everything and make a... Isn't that how you make beer?
Less steps. Beer tea. Less steps.
Except and, you go for some hops tea.
Some hops tea. And it actually wasn't bad. It was interesting.
For me, the less hops, the better. So, I am not a hoppy type of guy.
Yeah, I don't like to hop.
I like my Belgians and my wheats. I can live without IPAs.
Okay.
I'm looking at kava right now. I'm probably gonna be buying some.
Yeah, you should. I love it. I'm gonna have to go get some more. It's been a little bit since I've had some.
Spreading the knowledge.
Yeah, you should look into it too, Christine. I'll have to get you some. I'll have to get you guys some and like your care package.
I gotta start your guys' mead. I haven't started it yet, and Yule's coming up. It only takes like 6 weeks to do a quick batch, but
you got this.
I gotta get it done. That's what it is. I gotta get done.
Can you make beer out of like any wheat? Like a wheat beer? Can you do it out of any wheat?
That is not my wheelhouse.
I just drink it.
I was growing red winter wheat just to, practice growing it, and I was wondering what I could do with all of it when I harvest it. I was like, I wonder if I could make beer with it.
I don't see why you couldn't. But like I said, I'm not, and like Christina said, we're not experts. I have a good friend that is a brewmaster. He used to be the head brewer at Knee Deep Brewery up in Auburn. Now he's working at the brewery down here in Sac.
Which one?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to ask him.
Okay.
There are so many now.
There are a lot in Sacramento now. That's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
I'm glad that we're getting our brew up.
He is all about the IPAs. The hoppier, the better for him. For me, I'm just like, ugh, gag.
So,
I like my
does
ales.
Anybody want a 2-minute history lesson?
Yeah, always. I always love history.
So the reason that IPAs are hoppy like that is because they figured out when they started doing their trade routes from Europe all the way over to India that the beer was going bad in the voyage. So they doubled up the hops and made it a thicker beer to survive the long months at sea.
Cool.
Which is also why, like, real IPAs, like, in India are a lot different than the ones that, say, we have here in California. And that's why it's called a Californian IPA, is because it's not done the same or for the same reasons. So they tweaked it based on taste rather than for preservation.
Why don't they just call it a CPA, California Pale Ale? Why doesn't it be a California Indian Pale Ale? That's just me rambling. It just came into the top of my head. I was like,
that's an excellent question. I don't have the answer for that.
I'm gonna call them now CPAs. Doesn't that mean like something else too?
Certified
Yeah.
public accountant.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like something public.
Probably why they
We need
don't
a
call them
CPA.
CPAs.
I'm gonna call him that now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Love to see a bartender say that, to like deal with you when you say that.
Oh man.
Here's a question: would it be counterintuitive if I put kava powder in coffee?
I don't know.
Because these are all, oh yeah, you make kava tea, I'm like, I would rather have it in a shake or in coffee.
Well, I know that you can make, because a lot of like the kava place I went to, oh my voice, they made them in smoothies, so I don't see why you couldn't put it in a shake.
Well, no, yeah, that's what to say, is that you can do it in shakes and smoothies, or you can just, brew a tea. But I'm like,
put it in coffee.
I make coffee every morning. Can I just put it in coffee? I mean,
as they say,
it's
fuck
supposed to
around and
reduce
find
anxiety,
out.
but is it counterintuitive if I'm adding caffeine to it, which is a stimulant?
It might be like when people add Red Bull and Four Locos, it might have that kind of effect.
Or like, doing a fat rail
Jaeger
off of a
bombs.
hooker and then, eating a bunch of lewds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Damn, I'm kind of interested in that. God.
Oh gosh, I love how our conversations go. They just start here and then somehow go up here and then way down here again. You're gonna run the gamut with this crowd.
Yeah.
So
It's expensive though. It is. It's not cheap.
based off of a quick Google search and not me doing any kind of fact checking at all, the first thing it says is we found people reporting the mixture of kava and caffeine can cause an increase in the stimulation effects of caffeine when the two are consumed within a reasonable time together. Some people find the combination uncomfortable, while some enjoy the increase in stimulation. So it's possible that it will increase your caffeine.
So I already take Adderall, but I only take Adderall when I need it, or when I feel I need it. So I don't take it all the time. This sounds like if you mix it with caffeine, it might actually be a natural Adderall. I'm going to have to try this. I'm going to have to, speaking of experimenting with consumptions.
Just make
Let
sure
us
that
know.
you can do that and it not fuck with your shit, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put that out there for anyone. If you're going to try something, please don't take our word for it. Please consult your doctor. Please seek the opinion of a professional, because we are not. We're three bitches behind a screen just kibitzing. Okay.
I only play a doctor on TV.
Right.
At work, I get a lot of people asking me, "Oh, is this going to affect this medication that I'm on?" And I'm like, I'm not your doctor. You need to consult your doctor. Well, my doctor says that I can't smoke this anyway, not because it's bad with this medication, just because it's illegal or something, or it's federally illegal, or they can't tell me that I can't smoke it, because it's still very vilified, I guess, in a lot of the medical field. A lot of them will not recommend it. I've had doctors say on the low recommend it for certain things, but like stress relief. But
it depends on the substance, and it depends on what you are taking. So, for example, opiates and alcohol. Opiates and alcohol don't mix. Are they fun? For me, yes. For other people, not quite so much.
Yeah, I always just
But
have people.
I've done a lot of things when I was younger that you really shouldn't do. But yeah, everything's going to enhance one thing, and alcohol is the great enhancer. I mean, it enhances everything, so,
Especially people's personalities.
Yeah, it releases your inhibitions.
Yeah.
Or lowers your inhibitions.
I've always said that like weed, it shows me the true person, whereas alcohol shows me the person that they want to be.
I could
Does that
see
make
that
sense?
Really
depending
loving when
on
I'm drunk,
the
though.
personality, and if that person is neurotypical or neurodiverse.
Well, I know I'm neurodiverse, and for me, it's like I get to be who I want to be when I'm stoned, but when I'm drinking alcohol, then I know I have to be up, kind of thing.
Right.
and a lot of my friends are neurodiverse, and it's always kind of played out that way. Like if I give someone, and I'm going off of a hypothetical here, if I give someone my bottle of Patron and they drink half of it, those fuckers are going to be off and doing things. However, if I am smoking a bowl with them, then they will get into the real talk with me, you know, like we'll get some really heavy good conversations out of it.
The smoker talks. The epitomes, or the epiphanies. Oh, I said the wrong thing. One time, I just have to say this. I have to put it out there on the internet now. One time I was eating a chocolate chip cookie, and I turned to my friend and I said, "Yo, I'm unbaking the cookie in my mouth because now it's cookie dough because it was wet and it was like cookie dough." And I was like, "I'm unbaking the cookies in my mouth." Greatest high thought I've had ever. Unbaking the cookies. Get through that kind of it.
I love you so much. You're such a simple child.
I am.
And I love you so much for that. Go ahead, Cliff. Sorry.
I wish I could remember. I wish I can remember more of my thought processes while I was. But
Don't
the
die.
problem that I had a lot of is that I used to drink and smoke heavily at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a term for it. I can't remember what it's called. The kids are using it now. It's,
Like stevia? Or not stevia,
Crossfaded?
Crossfaded.
Oh, yeah,
Took
sorry.
me a second.
Yeah, I used to.
Sorry.
I would always have at least 1 or 2 joints with, a fifth of Southern Comfort. I wouldn't get blackout, but things were hazy. I can't really remember, most of what I did or thought about. If I was thinking.
Yeah. These are my, I think, recollections of me when I was crossfaded all the time. It's just very hazy. It's not. It seems like it's a comfortable experience at the time, but then afterwards, I always had the worst hangover after being crossfaded.
See, I didn't start getting hangovers until I turned 30. And then that's when the hangovers really started wrecking me. But yeah, before then I never got hangovers. And I don't know if it's just because I drank a crap ton of water or what. Never be hungover. Now I can
Hydration.
Get an alcoholic beverage and I'll get hungry. I'll get my wife's hangovers. Does it stop me from drinking?
Yeah, that's what me with vodka. I just look at vodka and I'm like, oh no. Because that's all I would drink when I was younger.
I can't do vodka. Not anymore.
And I'm like, I'll just do gin.
You keep your Christmas tree.
Yeah, we'll do gin. And whiskey occasionally.
I stick it to bourbon mostly nowadays.
You
I don't really know the difference between bourbon and whiskey.
You know what you like, and you just stick with it. You know.
Yeah. Except, so bourbon and mead and beer are my 3 main staples as far as alcohol. And as far as meads go, there is a mead that you can get at Total Wine that's called Necro-Mango-Con, which is a black pepper mango mead.
Oh, I gotta write that down. I'm going to Total Wine.
Y'all. I'm gonna leave that to y'all because
so good. Oh my gosh,
I don't like the sound of any of that.
Can you do me a favor and say that again? Necro or something. Perfect. That would actually be better. I'm gonna go get that. That sounds amazing. I love trying things once. Sometimes once is all you get.
Yeah, and the label is the Necronomicon.
Of course it is.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. They cut out on my
escaped that this year. I escaped it. Oh god, I didn't have to watch that movie again. I know Brett's gonna be like, "Ha, bitch, we're gonna watch it. You talked about it on the show." But I got to not have to watch that this year, and I was so happy.
He'll have you watch it for, it's a Christmas movie.
It's not. I actually mentioned. I showed you guys what I did for Halloween at work. Now I'm gonna do something for Yule. And Brett was like, he's like, just put everything up that you had up already. I was like, why? He's like, because then it'll be just like it is at our house for Christmas. I was like, oh,
Dang,
yeah,
calling you out.
I'll just take the purple lights and I'll put red and green and have them go red and then green. And then... He's like, nope,
Oh.
just put up the exact same thing. See if anybody notices.
That'd be great.
There's a link in chat to that meet.
Thank you.
Awesome. So then I said, I told my coworker about it. And I was like, yeah, then I'll just have to put or make a sign that says Halloween Town over it. And she was like,
yes.
Nightmare Before Christmas. It is the best. And I was like, it's a classic. And she was like, yeah, let's see you get it away with doing something like that.
Oh, hey,
so,
speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas.
do you have your tarot out?
No, but I was going to say, have you watched the new concert? They do the yearly concert with Danny Elfman. So this year's concert was released on, there's videos of it on YouTube from about 3 days ago.
Okay.
Somebody a little different to sing the parts of Sally this year. Billie Eilish.
Oh.
I was not disappointed. It was actually pretty good. And then they did the Lock, Stock, and Barrel song, Kidnapped Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Kidnapped
Santa Claus. Danny Elfman, Weird Al, and Paul Rubens.
Huh.
Really?
I love Weird Al. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
He is a world treasure.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I catch it every year, but it's they try and bring back the original cast, which this one did. They had some of the original cast members. But I think Catherine O'Hara's gotten too old to really be singing the part of Sally anymore. I don't think she does it. And they had Helena Bonham Carter doing it for a bit as well, but now they're starting to bring in the younger ones. Billie Eilish, I thought was perfect.
Brett played for me Nightmare Revisited, and I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I really, really liked Amy Lee's version.
Never heard it.
Oh, Sally's
I
song?
love Amy Lee.
Yeah, of Sally's song.
And I don't know if I've heard it.
I'm gonna link it in the in the chat.
So I like Amy Lee. I don't like her live. Every live performance I've seen of her, she cannot carry a tune. She can't stay in key. And it's tragic.
That's really sad.
Who I like better than Amy Lee though is Christina Scabbia from Evanescence is basically their cover band. I'm gonna look it up and it's gonna be
that really makes me sad about Amy Lee in
Me
live.
too.
I haven't seen them live, but it does make me sad now.
That's why I'm always really hesitant to go see people live and like spend the money to do it. They just might not be good.
I'm going to see Tool.
Christina from Lacuna Coil.
Oh,
Coil.
Lacuna, okay. I know Lacuna Coil because Matt, who was on the show, loved them all through high school.
Oh, yeah.
I will admit
they're great.
They're an Italian band, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and their Evanescence is basically main influence.
Okay.
Christina also does a song with Megadeth. She does a Tout Le Monde. She does a duet with Dave Mustaine.
Okay.
I'm gonna check that out. Oh yeah. That light's giving me a headache.
Well, guys, I think we're coming to the end here. I want to say how much I appreciate you guys coming back in after that hiatus. I know it was long and we had to get back into the groove. And for those who might be watching later, because I don't think anybody's watching now, we are going to come up with some more topics for you. Of course, you can always send us messages, leave us a comment, find us on Facebook, or join our Discord. We do have Discord channels set up for you guys to talk to us. We do get to messages. We do respond. Let us know what you want to hear. Or if you want to be a part of the show, because, like, we love having other people to talk to.
Guest. Yeah.
Is that your version of shots?
Yeah. Guess. Yeah. Everybody. Guess. MC. There you go. It's a lot of M's there, but you get the point.
All right. Well, I'm going to log off. I got to go make some sloppy joes for Brett when he comes home.
I'm going to a comedy show for my coworker.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. At Punchline.
I haven't been there in forever.
I've never been there. So I'm going to go watch comedy.
All right.